Right, so I will be looking at cell this morning. Don't mind the class. No, no, yeah, don't mind the class that said 10 cmh. It's just that the PowerPoint I would have done it already, so I didn't change it. So don't mind the class. It's your content. Right, so last week we would have looked at the characteristics of living things, and of course in we looking at the characteristics of living things, then of course we would have looked at non-living things, and that is simple because everything within our environment we would have of course differentiate that the things within our environment, some are living and some are non-living. So if you look in your immediate environment now, then you will realize that you can differentiate or tell the things that are living from those that are non-living. Now the only way you can differentiate is by you actually take into consideration the 7 characteristics of living things, which would have gone through. So after looking at those characteristics of living things, now what we'll be doing now, we're now going to focus on living things now by studying the different components that make up something that we call living, whether it is a plant or it is an animal. So of course, just like building a house, you normally start from the basic things that are needed for that particular building. Same thing with the human body, where the smallest component or the smallest unit that you can find in your body is known as a cell. So that's why we're looking at cell first. So the first pointer there is saying that all organisms are made up of simple basic units called cells. So where they say all organisms, they are talking about living things. And the living things, repeat, Loin? No, don't use the class time now to write it. I'm going to actually post the PowerPoint in the group so you can write it in your own time. You understand?
Yes, sir, on Google Classroom.
Yes. I think it's already on Google Classroom. I don't remember, but I can check. Right.
I'm not seeing it today.
Okay, then I will post it at the end of the class. Right. So don't use the class time to write any notes. Just use the class time to try and understand the content. You have more than enough time to write it. And when I send it in the Google Classroom or WhatsApp, it's gonna look like a lot of notes. Now don't frustrate yourself and try to write the notes all at once. Because remember, if it was face to face and I explained 3 slides, you would only write the notes for 3 slides. You understand?
Okay, sir.
Right, because some persons are saying that it's a lot of notes. Now, you're going to get all of the notes at once because I give you the entire PowerPoint at once. Which if it was face-to-face for one session, I might only just be able to explain like 2 slides or 3 slides. Then you would only write 2 slides of notes or 3 slides of notes. So to make it easily, only write what I discuss or explain today. Because you're going to try and write everything at once and frustrate yourself. Alright, so the first point where you see all organisms, they are talking about all living things. So when you see them use that term that said organisms, they are talking about living things. So whether it is a plant or it is an animal, the smallest structure, the smallest unit that you can find in living thing is known as a cell. It is just that we have different types of cells. For example, in human we have red blood cell, we have white blood cell, we have platelet, we have nerve cell, we have muscle cell. So we have different cells inside our body. So human being, for example, we are called multicellular organisms. Why we are called multicellular is because we have more than one type of cell. The second pointer, most cells are too small to be seen with the naked eye. What that simply means is that a red blood cell, for example, if somebody get a cut and you look at the blood, You cannot look at the blood and show somebody the red blood cell with your naked eyes. You would have to use a microscope to actually be able to see that red blood cell or that white blood cell. So that's all the second pointer is saying. What they are saying is that a cell is so small that you cannot see that cell with your naked eyes. You would need the use of or the service of an electronic microscope. Moving on, organisms, or if you want to say living things such as bacteria and amobia, are unicellular. That means that these organisms only have one cell. So once they use the term unicellular to describe an organism, they are saying that that organism has only one cell. It does not have more than one cell like human being. Because they say approximately 30 million cells are in the human body. So that's how many cells we have inside our body. So if you should add up all of the muscle cells, I'm saying that the human body consists of approximately 30 million cells. 30 million. So if you should add up all of the red blood cell, all of the white blood cell, the egg cell, the muscle cell, the nerve cell, if you should add up all of those cells, you should get approximately 30 million. But unicellular organisms such as